Okay, so we're watching Pretty Little Liars, and there's one thing I can't for the life of me stop thinking about. And this was why Spencer Hastings was always somehow a magnet for Melissa's boyfriends. Like, how do you accidentally end up in this position more than once? And hold on, before I get thoughts, I'm not blaming Spencer. It was just weird that this happened more than once on this show where she ended up getting approached by Melissa's boyfriends. Now, I definitely think that this was as a result of Spencer's personality, the timing, and quite frankly, Melissa's taste in men. And I want to talk about it. Hi, everybody. Susan. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, how is it going? It's good to have you here. Betty was actually one of my favorite liars on Pretty Little Liars. And in fact, I actually took her last name. I used it as part of my Instagram name because, I just find the main Hastings fascinating. But I want to talk about all the reasons why I definitely think this happened. I still believe that Pretty Little Liars was a show that was quite absurd. There's so many things going on the show, like teachers having affairs with students. For example, Ezra Fitz having an affair with a minor who was his student, and so many things that were, questionable. A lot of the characters that were adults, the reason why we're rooting for them and we're not like literally saying ew at the screen was because they looked very close in age to the people that they were having relationships with. And we can easily say the same thing for Spencer, Melissa, and her boyfriends. Like, it didn't look weird because even though Spencer was supposed to be 15 when her boyfriends were like 22, I believe, Ian was 22 when he approached her, it didn't really look like he was older than her. And it looked like a forbidden relationship, but it was absolutely cringe now that I think about it again. So let's talk about some of the factors and the reasons why this happened. Nowadays, one of the reasons I'm going to get to at the end of this video that I think is the most important reason, or one of the, is a bit different from what people will typically say, and I might be called out for this, or some people might not agree with me on this, but it is my opinion and everyone is entitled to their opinion. Spencer and Melissa were always in the same circles. They had the same family dinners. They were in the same school. So if Melissa was dating someone, there was a high chance that Spencer was going to be around them a lot. Naturally, like, proximity just draws people closer to one another. The weird part of this was because it was between a minor and an adult. That's what made this strange. Now, Ian was 22. And again, like I mentioned before, this is what Pretty Little Liars does that I don't quite like, which is that there's a lot of characters or actors that look much older than their age, and they are depicted to look like minors, and the people that they are supposed to be with, for example in this case Ian, look so close in age that you don't necessarily think that this relationship is inappropriate. The other thing was definitely with Melissa's boyfriends. Like, these guys were questionable, and I mean, why would you be interested in your girlfriend's sister? Like, okay, maybe if they're an adult, we can say, you got attracted to them, but they're like minors, they are teenagers. Like, he's just giving predator. He's giving huge predator vibes. There was an element of the difference between Melissa and her sister that also got those guys kind of interested in her. I could say that Spencer was quite different from her sister in terms of her ambition and her ability to like strike up conversations and challenge people and challenge people's minds and have like good conversations. Meanwhile, even though Melissa was smart, she wasn't necessarily like her sister. So I think that difference was sometimes what made those guys kind of interested and want to talk to her more. This is still not a reason why you should be moving to a minor. I feel like I have to repeat this for I have to repeat this as long as I'm saying this video. Like, I don't care what her energy is. Once you see that she's a minor, your face is absolutely away, like, from that direction. You are turned away from that direction. But no, you still have this kind of situations going on, which again, we must not allow to be the norm, whether it's on TV or anywhere else. And again, I still insist that the people who wrote the stories, might need to have some jail time, unfortunately. So a lot of you might not agree with me on this, but I definitely think one of the reasons why this was happening was the lack of home training. Yeah. So I like to think that most parents will be like, look, as a girl, if somebody is moving to you or trying to kiss you, you should either walk away, slap them, or something. Like, don't stand there trying to kiss them back. I think that this situation happening once and twice just was an outcome of Spencer not necessarily being trained properly in this area, because you are 15. If somebody is trying to kiss you, you should step back, walk away, go report to someone. That is the training that any adult should be giving their kid, because we don't live in a world where we assume that everybody's in their right senses. Like, a lot of people are going to go, they are the adults. They are supposed to be making the right decisions. Absolutely, yes, I think so. But at the same time, I feel we are not necessarily going to be living in a world where adults are always doing the right thing. What I'm basically trying to say here is um Spencer had no business kissing Melissa's boyfriend. Like, let's not act like that is a normal behavior. It is not normal. Like, we can have situations where, like, people that abuse kids, right, are moving towards them, and the child doesn't necessarily know what to do, what not to do. But this is a 15-year-old. She knows that this is wrong. And it is not just about the fact that this is a sister's boyfriend, right? It is about the fact that someone is trying to make a move on her as a minor. That is wrong. So it is either one, she didn't know that was wrong and was kissing him back, or two, she also had feelings for him and was kissing him back, or three, she was not being trained on what to do when something like that happens. I 90% blame, in fact, let me say 100% before they come for me. I 100% blame Melissa's boyfriend's, right? But I also think that Spencer should have been taught what to do in this kind of situation. And it is not normal for, someone to make a move on you, an adult, your boyfriend, your sister's boyfriend, or not, whoever they are, and you just go kissing them back. Like, what is going on? What is going on? What business did she have kissing that guy back? I don't know. But that's my thoughts on this. Like, Spencer should probably have more home training. Okay. Was Pesam actively hunting down Melissa's boyfriends? Obviously not. She was not the one going after them. They were the ones coming after her. So they are the ones with the problem. This obviously strained the relationship that the sisters had. It says a lot about the guys, and it says a lot about Spencer's parents as well. What happened shouldn't have happened. You should be protecting your kids, like, especially if you have girls. I personally don't think that you should be allowing guys to sleep in the same house when you have girls that are like kids and all, especially, except if you maybe they are part of your family or something. They absolutely should not be sleeping in the same house with your 15-year-old daughter. It's just a safety thing to me. I don't know, what do you guys think about it? Like, it was weird that those guys were coming to sleep in the same house under the same roof with this 15-year-old girl. Yeah, you could say, okay, you trust your daughter's choices, but first of all, it's probably a little too soon to trust the kind of guy that your daughter is bringing into the house. You've probably not known them for that long, so they probably don't have any business sleeping under the same roof with your 15-year-old daughter. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit worked up about this, but yeah, like, it's just a safety precaution. They could have stayed somewhere else, but I mean, it was good that something happened like that so that the girl kind of knew who she was dating and cut off that relationship real quick. But also, it wasn't good because it was giving predatory vibes. Yeah, that's what I have to say about that situation. Let me know what you guys thought. If you have any comments, questions, whatever, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I will see you. Watch another other Pretty Little Liars videos somewhere at the top here, and I will see you next video. Bye.